What's interesting about dreams is not necessarily the specific things that you see and do in them, but how you get there. How these images, and it's more than just images, it's experiences. How these experiences are produced in your mind, and why. Another thing is the sense of perspective that they give you on your existence. In your dreams, you're very often taken out of the present that you're in and put into a different, just a whole different setting of time and place and reality. And what it does is it gives you a perspective, it gives you a different perspective on your existence, that when you wake up you find yourself back in the same television show, basically, same soap opera. It's just like a life, waking life is kind of like a TV soap opera, that you find yourself tuning in day after day, no matter how boring it is to you, no matter how much you'd like to change the channel. There it is, and that's the channel that your dial is set onto, and it's going to play day after day unless you make a big effort to try to change the dial, change the channel. But the problem is, you wake up from your dreams exhausted, and you feel you don't have the energy to make that big effort to change the channel. But in your dreams is when it becomes very clear to you that you really ought to, really want to do everything possible to change that channel, because this show is going nowhere. And that's true for your personal existence as well as your perspective on the world as a whole, where the society is going. This show as a society is definitely just going, it's just getting worse and worse. So that's what dreams do. Dreams give you this perspective. And if you could somehow, we wake up from them trying to remember what happened, not because what happened itself was so particularly relevant or interesting, but what you're trying to recall is this different sense of perspective and urgency, where you're stuck in this reality and you realize that determining your own reality and finding a reality that is worth existing in is the most important thing that you ought to be giving every ounce of energy to. And in a sense you do. In a sense, just dreaming these things can take out most of your energy. So you wake up feeling so exhausted that you feel like you have to go back to sleep. And what happens if you do? You end up dreaming more, and it just is it's a cycle, a self-perpetuating cycle that just what's the word? Vicious. It's a vicious cycle where if you wake up exhausted from dreaming too much and go back to sleep, you end up dreaming more. Kinda doesn't help.